So now that we've seen how to verify that it's an empty list, why don't we go ahead and put some stuff in there? All right. So let's go back here. What can we do? Right. So how can we alter or actually? So what I'm going to do under mutator, I'm going to do the insert method here. In other words, that's where we're going to insert an actual product, P1, P2, for example, into the list. Okay? All right, so this is going to be one of the most important methods here. The next one will be the delete method, where we're going to be removing a node. Now that one can be a little tricky, so this one is a little bit easier. But we need to pay attention. Okay, how's this function going to work, or this method? Let's think about its name. We're going to call it insert. So it's going to be product list, product link list, whatever mylist.insert. So it will be mylist.insert when I'm ready to insert an item. So when I'm ready to insert an item, I'm going to do mylist dot insert. So the insert method isn't here, and that's what I'm going to create now. And then as an argument, it will take either P1 or P2, one of these two existing products. Okay. So this method here will be public, and it will not return anything. So it will be a void insert. And so what would it take as an argument? Products. And let's call it product here. Okay, so we have a product, and what are we going to do with it? Well, we're going to need a node, since the product will be the payload within that node. And once we have that node, we need to link it. Okay, so those are the steps you need to take. So this is done on the fly. So you create a node at runtime right now. When the program is running, this node gets created. So product node, right? And let's call it PN, is going to be equal to new product node, and we're going to put the product in there. Well, that creates our node, but this node is not linked. So now, how do we do this? Well, we'll have to use the method setNext, right? So we have, let's go to this method here, setNext, which we haven't used. This is the linking method that we're going to be using for that purpose. So we're going to go over here. We're going to do PN, or product node, dot, and we're going to look at setNext, and guess what? We're going to put the head there. Okay. And what else? Well, that's fine. It's pointing to head, but now head needs to point back to product node. Okay, because we're shifting. So now head is going to be equal to PN. So in other words, this here, right, will have the whatever head was pointing at. And remember, initially head was null, right? So it was an empty list. Now we've put the product in there. We set its next to null, correct? And then now we need to move head to PN, to where PN is. So we're pointing at PN, an actual node. Okay, well, what else we need to do? One more thing. Number of parts. We've added a node. So number of parts, we can increment it by 1. So number of parts You could do a plus plus, or number of parts plus equal 1. Plus plus will do just fine. So this will increment it by 1. Can we test it out? Can we go over here and test it out? So I have my list dot and insert, and we're going to put P1 in there. Right? So I'm just going to run it and see if I get a runtime error. No news is good news. Now, I don't have a way to see what's in my list, but now if I do go ahead and do this again, copy, and put it here, and do an else here maybe, you will see that the node is no longer empty. System.out.println. I mean, this list is not empty. Well, let's prove it. Well, one way to do it is to run this. Let's see what happens. So initially the list was 0. It was empty. Now it has an item 1, and it's no longer empty. Okay. Well, let's do this with P2. Let's see if we can do that. So copy. We're going to paste here, and we're going to put P2. Let's see what happens here. And notice now I have 2 items, right? And the list is not empty. Well, that's fine. Now, how about actually inspecting or traversing this list, right? To see all the elements in that list. Great. That will be our next video. So what we're going to do, we're going to come back here, and under accessors, we're going to do some sort of a traversing into the loop, with a loop, into this, and see what items are in there, and print them out. Okay, and I'll see you in the next video.